Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 220 Takes. As you can see, we got a little empty spot over there. Connor actually decided to quit the pod, so we're going without him.
Solo. We're going with two.
So, just kidding.
Unfortunately,
But he did think about it, and he has said,
once again,
I'm quitting multiple times today.
Obviously, I didn't quit, as you can see. I just wanted to, I have a flair for the dramatic. And I wanted
this is what I'm talking about.
I wanted to make a dramatic entrance.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me on the pod, as always.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
So obviously, I didn't quit. And if for some reason in the future I do quit, you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody will know when I quit.
I feel like the pod might stop when you quit.
Yeah.
No.
It will.
All right, man. I'm just kidding.
It will.
Just kidding.
All right.
It lives on forever.
Let's get started here. Let's get started.
Okay.
What first?
What
Personal life?
A
little bit of we got a little bit of
we got out of the apartment
yeah,
this weekend. So, I mean, I guess we can kind of start with Connor's weekend.
Yeah,
Right,
Connor,
yeah.
what'd you do?
What went down?
I went back home this weekend.
The Dirty P.
Yeah, we head up to Dirty P. That's what we like to call Plainfield.
Yes, sir. Come on now. If you know, you know.
Thursday, trivia, first place.
Wow.
Friday, went to the movies, saw, it's called Saturday Night.
Okay.
Valid, 8 out of 10.
What genre?
Comedy,
Oh,
biopic
nice.
comedy. It's about the making of the first episode of Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I actually did hear
Yeah.
about that. Okay.
Really good. If you guys need anything to watch,
Yeah.
let it be that. If you need something to watch, don't let it be Joker 2.
Wow.
Okay.
That movie was boring. The first one was good. I do like the first one. There were a couple parts in this movie that were okay, but altogether it was just a boring movie.
Where'd they go wrong, do you think? Like, what should they have done differently?
Well, first of all, I think making it a musical was weird. That was a weird creative decision, and I was like, when I first heard that, I was like, okay, like I guess that could work. It didn't, and then they casted Harley Quinn as Lady Gaga, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, if they're going the musical route,
I guess.
I guess that's okay, but it just fell flat for me.
Okay.
Sunday, woke up early to watch the Bears game. Went out to a little bar to watch the game.
Nice.
Had a couple mimosas. Lost some money on the slots.
Are you going to talk about the casino?
Oh, hit up the casino on Friday. Shout out Hollywood Casino in Joliet.
Busy weekend.
Also lost money there. But
Come on, man.
you know what? I'm retiring from gambling.
For how? I was gonna ask.
For now.
Dude, it's gonna be
Until when we go out this weekend and you start.
yeah, man.
No.
Lobster
Hitting up the
Mania, gonna look
slots.
at a.
No. I'm done. I'm
Bruce,
done
like
until the winter, until winter break.
That's a lie.
Hey, he's like the Michael Jordan of this podcast, man. Retires, come back, gambling problem.
Hey, you asked this guy who his best friend is. He says the ATM.
Sure is not the slots, man.
But other than that, good weekend. The two mimosas I had at On the Rocks in Romeoville. Shout out On the Rocks in Romeoville.
I will need to go there.
We're valid.
Nice.
I will need to go there.
Let's jump over to your guys' weekend. You probably had a bit more of an eventful, well, at least on Sunday.
I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah, it was definitely eventful. Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of start. I had an awesome privilege to be able to attend the Packers game, season tickets. Yeah, it was a good time. It was definitely weird considering I've been to just as many Bears games as I have Packers games now. So
What would you? I mean, it's a little bit of a different experience than like probably a regular game you went to. But how would you rate your experience besides the extracurricular stuff?
yeah, bro.
How would you rate the game experience?
Yeah. Honestly, when I went home, I said 10 out of 10. I told my parents, I think this is like a once in a lifetime for a Bears fan of myself, once in a lifetime experience. To be in enemy territory, be able to sit in box seats, go up on the rooftop. I thought it was awesome. I don't think anything's gonna compare to an experience like that. So
Yeah, hopefully we'll get you back for another game maybe next year, and Connor as well.
You know, if you want a Packers win, just invite me, man.
I know, like
I broke his 3-game losing streak.
yeah, I was on a 3-game losing streak going to games, and the last time they had won before this past game was when I went with Chris our freshman year. We drove on a Monday night game.
I don't know why.
All the way to Green Bay from Illinois State,
here.
and then we got back at like 5 in the morning because it
5
was
in
like
the morning. I
pouring
had class
rain.
at 8, and I went.
Yeah, he actually did.
I did. It was calm.
Come 110.
Yeah.
So I got to bring Chris to all the Packer games.
Oh wait, never mind.
The other thing we want to talk about was the Lambulance.
More like the Lambulance.
It's like it was this ambulance, obviously, that was called the Lambulance. It was like decorated in all Packer stuff. Their tent scratched my brother's car.
Brand new black car.
Yeah, and they threw an egg at it. So
No, there was not a scramble down the road.
sorry, Mom, but ambulance.
You know, I'll say it too. No, I can't say it.
Now you can say it.
The Lambulance. I hate all of you.
I wasn't there. I've only heard stories, but the ambulance. I suppose.
Nah, bro. I mean, I was ready. I was ready to get into it, man.
There people were ready to throw hands.
Not me.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
It was but we went to Titletown and they got like a
That was a
turf
really cool
field,
experience.
and we kicked some field goals. Didn't make a lot of field goals. We
Yeah.
threw the ball around.
Yeah, we did a little 2-on-2. A lot of kids, so you know it's kind of hard to do a lot.
A lot of kids.
But yeah, I mean, I was disappointed with my field goal attempt. I would have hit the second one if I tried, but you know I hooked left.
Chris's
Wide
field.
left.
Wide left.
I had
It had the height.
I had a feeling Chris would do better than all of us because he played soccer. But like his looked the most like a field goal when he kicked it. Like
Yeah.
everybody else's were just like line drives. So yeah, I mean that. It was
Titletown is cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
I never saw it before.
Yeah,
I didn't
because when we
really
went to
have
the
that.
game before, we were kind of just in and out, and like now we kind of got to experience like the tailgating.
You got the 40-yard
and
dash time.
What was
I
the
didn't
time?
run it.
You didn't
But
run it, but
to
they
be
had-
fair though, I don't know if it would have been good. You know, low drink action, pretty tired, wet.
Yeah,
Probably would have only been a 4.6. You know.
yeah.
Right.
No, yeah, he's got 4.6 speed.
Yeah, I got sub 5 speed.
Okay.
Whoa. What do you think? Let's all predict our.
No, I already know what mine is.
Really?
Because I did it last time,
What was it?
and well, it was like no warming up. Like I think if I trained for it, I could get under 5. Like 4.
was above 5?
Like I think I was like a 5.2.
Okay, so I'm probably like.
But that was like no
slower than that.
training, and I didn't warm up at all. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like loose or anything, so I think I could run, and you got to time it too. So
So that probably put me at like a 5.
okay, but if you like trained for it for like let's say like
it's a
3
different-
months, like what do you, like I think that I could get to like 4.8.
See, I think I could get under 5, but like I don't know. I'm not. Maybe like I'd say 5 or 4.9. Very confident.
What about
I
you?
don't think I could get sub 5. Sub 6 for sure.
Yeah, I
could get.
think.
Yeah, I'd hope
I mean,
so.
you guys kind of saw me move in the football field when we were playing flag football.
Yeah.
Like,
Sneaky
Sneaky
fast.
speed.
man.
fast.
For sure.
So I definitely think sub 6. I'd say I'm probably around the 5.5 range, maybe 5.6.
Yeah.
Okay.
In other kind of personal life news, you know, intramural basketball starting up.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're
Moving on
back.
to a different sport.
Yeah.
We're back.
We're locked in for sure this season for the sport,
Yeah, I would love to win more than one
Yeah.
game a rec season.
and I think we will.
Yeah.
I think so too.
We got more subs,
More subs.
which can be a good thing and a bad thing,
We'll have to balance
depending
out
on how the bench
rotations.
looks. But I know when we played last year, we had only like 6 people for one game and 7 people for most games, and I was gassed every single
Yeah,
game.
you'd be
Like,
surprised. How
you need
quickly-
subs for sure.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. It's not fun playing tired when the other team's pressing.
So, if we're done with that,
Mm-hmm.
next we have the parlay punishment, and we're switching it up. We're gonna do it at the beginning. We're not sure if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but
Yeah.
we're gonna roll with it. It was actually
Guys,
Chris's idea.
It was my
yeah, so,
idea.
you know, honestly, shout out Chris for this.
Guys,
Yeah.
I was due. I like to say I was due. Everyone else did it, some more than others.
Yep, some more than others.
But I don't know. I mean, Oh man, I feel like right now I'm a little nervous. Before I was talking the big game, I was like, oh, I'll just get it done. Won't be bad. But yeah,
we think it might be like
I think it might be
more entertaining for you guys to
Right.
watch. Chris does have a glass of
here.
milk.
Yeah,
but
my spice tolerance might be worse than Connor's.
yeah.
Should we just get the gallon out?
Well, we can go get it if we need
It's
to.
pretty full.
Okay.
But I do want to say just to clear some things up.
Oh yeah, hold the phone. Go ahead.
And Chris can back me up on this too because I changed it on the
will.
way up to Green Bay. I'm going in to put. Well, first of all, I'm the only one who put in the bet.
Yeah, we don't got motion.
The parlay bet. So
we ain't got motion like Evan.
I'm going to put in the parlay bet, and I put in like theirs, and I'm like, where's Kyron Williams? Like, I can't find the Rams anywhere, and I'm like, Chris, are the Rams on a bye?
I'm like, yeah.
So then, I had to go to the commissioner, and I was like, hey, can I please change my pick? Yeah, and I got it approved by the higher ups.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and picked Stephon Diggs.
And I can't clarify I was there for that meeting.
I wasn't. They could be lying.
I wasn't happy about it, but at the same time, it was before the game started. So
I would like to say none of you guys caught it, and I was the only one putting it in for the crew.
And he was honest.
And I was honest about
actually, if he wasn't honest, it would have counted as a loss.
Actually,
If you got like, what if I was like, you guys were like, oh, did Kyron Williams score? I'm like, yeah.
I would have looked. I wouldn't have asked. I would have looked.
Yeah.
I do think that this should warrant something, but it's whatever.
I mean,
at least you switched, I suppose.
Evan, I feel like has done enough with the punishments to.
I did a punishment.
I'm the one that did the most.
No, I meant like he's taking a little bit
camera,
of every
off camera though.
He's eating the sardines.
That is true.
He's done a little bit of hot sauce.
And it's not like I picked like someone crazy. Like
I
picked a wide receiver. Like that's like less.
Yeah, clearly that's not guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I just went on a limb there and picked them. So there wasn't anything thought process that went into it. So we're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna let Chris do his thing. I got a spoon with some sauce on it. We're doing the same same sauce that we did for Connor last week, just since Chris hasn't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So
what time is it? Okay.
Chris, I will warn you.
I know.
Don't put your lips on it. Just straight lick
like
it.
turn it over and then lick it probably.
Okay.
No lips. That's the worst part.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Sorry, I was just listening to our beautiful.
Oh yeah, our beautiful. It's spooky season, everybody. So we got a little bit of a spooky ambiance back.
We heard some people really like the fireplace,
Yeah.
so we went spooky. Oh, it went quiet. Okay, sorry,
It's getting real.
taking a minute.
Yeah,
Tebow, not gonna Tebow, but
you should Tebow.
Hey, you do this, the Bears will come off their bye week strong.
oh fuck, sorry.
It's not that bad until you swallow, I feel like.
I already swallowed.
Wow.
All right, let's go.
All right. Let's jump into.
What's next, Chris? Can you tell us
I
what's next?
swallowed. Yeah, man. So now we're going league hopping.
League hopping. All right. So for the league hopping this week, we got baseball, the championship series in both leagues. We got the American League Championship Series, or the ALCS for short. We're looking at the Yankees and the Guardians.
I was gonna say, I really thought the Guardians were gonna put up more of a fight than they did. I know it's not over yet.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say the series is still going on. Thanks for that input, though. I did think the Tigers were going to put up more of a fight. I know the series went to 5, but I mean, I really thought the Tigers would have had it low key.
Yeah.
Good for the Guardians.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Yeah. Good for the Guardians. However, I feel like they just ran into a wall. I think the Yankees are gonna take it over. As for the NL, we have the Dodgers taking on the Mets. Very surprised team that the Mets were able to make it this far.
Really good.
There were people thinking they weren't going to make it past the Brewers, and then they weren't going to make it past the Phillies, but here they are. Yeah. Dodgers Mets, and it's a 1-1 series
I was
now.
gonna say I'm kind of hoping for a Subway Series now.
Yeah, that'd be very cool if we had a Subway Series World Series. I actually watched a little bit of the game today.
Really?
Yeah, Lindor led off the game with a home run.
He's been going
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
He's been going crazy. And then Vientos, as I tuned into the game, Vientos hit a grand slam. So then I was like, okay, I don't think the Dodgers are going to be able to come back from this one. Also, big news for the Dodgers fans: Clayton Kershaw plans on pitching in 2025.
Whoa.
Which, honestly, you guys aren't that big of baseball fans, but that's honestly surprising. Everybody thought he was going to retire.
Was he injured?
Yeah, he was injured.
What?
He hasn't been healthy in a while.
What kind of injury was it?
Back, I believe.
Oh, so that hurts with the rotation.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people thought he was going to retire, and he's coming back. He's like, oh, I want to pitch again in 2025. Good for Clayton Kershaw. So
Yeah. Good on him.
Hopefully, obviously I'm a White Sox fan. Big free agency this upcoming offseason. A couple overseas players from Japan are coming over. Hopefully, we'll be in the bidding wars, but knowing Mr. Reinsdorf, we won't be.
It's not going to touch him.
So that's it. That's all I have for baseball. We did have a comment on the YouTube video that we didn't mention that hockey was back. So
let's mention it.
Hockey's back. All right, that's enough of hockey. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I can maybe speak for definitely me and Chris. We're Blackhawks fans. Evan,
Go Hawks.
I would assume.
Yeah.
What do we got over
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Blackhawk fan.
Yeah.
Is Wisconsin have
I don't think this was. I don't
No.
think they don't have a team, right?
How did you not know that?
I'm not that big of a hockey fan, so
How many hockey games have you been to?
0.
I've been to one, and it was when I was very little.
0. But
I've
shout
been to
out,
like 3 or 4. So.
shout out Bailey, my friend Bailey. He works for the Blackhawks.
I'm done with the milk.
So shout out Bailey. If I ever go to a game, he'll hook me up.
With what?
Whatever. But yeah, so the Blackhawks are back. They actually just beat the Oilers, who are the reigning runner-ups, who just lost the Stanley Cup to the Panthers
So that means
of the Florida variety, the Florida Panthers, not the Carolina Panthers. It's a different sport. Edmonton's been kind of
all over the place.
potential. I mean, I know they didn't win, but championship hangover potentially.
Yeah.
They've been off the deep end. My second favorite team, the Winnipeg Jets, they are going crazy. Best goalie in the league, Connor Hellebuck. He's my favorite player. Well, that's about all I have for hockey. Stanley Cup favorites,
the Blackhawks.
the Jets. I guess.
I'm gonna go Blackhawks on a late season push.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, they're kind of in that contending. Well, not
Yeah,
contending.
I'd put your whole bank account on that.
Yeah, you should actually. Evan, Stanley Cup favorites.
Golden Knights.
That's always a good pick. Yeah. It's always they're good. Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel.
Well, if I'm being realistic, though, I'd probably say the Penguins.
Okay.
They were in the playoffs. Huh?
Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, I like Sidney Crosby, and I just really like that young guy they have.
Sidney Crosby. Yeah, what's his name?
What do you mean, bro? Everyone knows him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But what's his name though? For the people that don't know him.
You'll find out soon.
We need to stop talking about this, man. We don't.
You'll find out soon.
Okay.
Not knowledgeable enough.
To whoever commented about the hockey,
Oh my
sorry
God.
we're not that knowledgeable about it, but
gosh.
we did bring it up. We'll bring it up every once in a while. Probably not.
No.
But
asking you shall receive.
yeah. Every once in a while we'll bring it up.
What's next, Chris, on the league hopping?
Well, if I had to look next
Well, I
on the
think we're
league
done on the league
hopping,
hopping.
I think we're hopping back into the NFL.
Yeah.
All right.
We got some news happening.
Nothing on the NBA preseason or no?
No, it's
I
the
mean,
preseason. Who cares?
Yeah,
Not a lot
that's
happened.
right.
Matas Buzelis dunked on Giannis today.
Yeah, but the Bucks beat the Bulls
Also,
today,
And then
so.
Giannis shoved Josh Giddey to the ground. Little
I
man.
believe news. Lonzo Ball
It's returning
is
Wednesday.
returning Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Back in action. If I had to share my quick thoughts on that, I don't know if we'll see him for more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, you got to think that maybe he's got to get his stamina all the way back.
And he might be, I don't know, you think he's a little worried?
No.
Oh, he's definitely be rusty for sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, but you're right. You
I don't know, but he's been playing ball his whole life.
Yeah.
That's kind of something that
Yeah, but it doesn't. I don't think it matters.
I don't know. It's not like he's gonna develop the yips or anything.
And it's not like
Markelle
he's
Fultz.
like. It's not like he's like a shooter first type player either. So it's not
true.
like they're going to need him to score a bunch.
I'm interested to see how he does defensively.
Yeah.
All right.
We got some NFL news. Huh?
Got some NFL news. The first thing, Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Getting fired for the Jets.
So this
happened
this
last
news
week.
broke the day after we filmed our episode. So
shocker.
We had to wait a whole week before we could talk about it.
Yeah.
Good for the Jets, I suppose. I mean, I wouldn't say it was Saleh's fault.
It's just a weird timing to fire your head coach.
Because, like,
he's a defensive guy. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like their defense has been playing okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I know he said that he was going to fire Hackett if he didn't get fired, which would
have been smarter.
Yeah, Hackett's usually he wasn't a good coach in Denver.
No.
Like, I feel like that was the wrong move.
I don't remember much from him when he was in Green Bay, but I know just Aaron Rodgers really liked him, and that's basically the only reason that he's on the Jets.
And that's
coaching
probably
squad.
the only reason he's still there.
Yeah.
I mean, he
loves
Rodgers is going to Rodgers.
Now, this kind of brings up the question, does this kind of set a precedent so far this season of other coaches that will get fired soon? Like, I feel like Doug Peterson might be on the out soon. Maybe a Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, Nick Sirianni had that weird interaction where he was almost yelling at the fans.
Yeah.
And I know he just apologized for that, but I don't know. No one wants to pay all that money and see your coach yell at you for beating the Browns.
Right.
You know, like, you should beat the Browns, and they only beat them by like 3.
Yeah.
So I think Nick Sirianni, I think Zach Taylor.
Yes.
I mean, what?
They got the win this week, though.
They got the win, but it just looked
against
sloppy.
the Malik Neighborless Giants.
It
wasn't
wasn't
very sloppy.
And
it
it's
just
the
wasn't
Giants.
how you'd wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not how you wanted the win, you know, or how much. But
I mean, Antonio Pierce of the Raiders. Do you think they give him the benefit of the doubt? You know, it's like his kind of first season with a not so good team, and they know that.
I think, for the sake of like chemistry and that, and just the place that they're in, I think they should give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's only going downhill for them.
Yeah,
well, that is
because
like
Devontae's
I
not
think
going to play.
Devontae wants out. I think they're looking to trade Max Crosby too.
Wow, really?
I think I heard that.
You know, if this
Future Bear?
No. Although maybe the Lions, now that Aiden Hutchinson got injured,
have heard that.
That'd be dangerous.
you got to think though, if this Devontae thing kind of goes
away.
Well, none of it goes away, but
there hasn't been news about it since.
I heard
he
they might
asked
not
for a
trade
trade.
him. I heard they might not anymore.
But if it drags along, and the Jets do want him, does he even want to go to the Jets when they might be losing more games and they might even be out of playoff contention?
Right, because he's probably looking for one of these.
Yeah.
And who knows if
At
Rodgers
this
is going to
point,
come back?
Right.
At this point, so yeah, we'll see.
I think at this point, the Ravens might be the best landing spot for him.
I agree. And I think
or the
be
Chiefs,
scary.
but I don't think they'll get traded to the Chiefs.
I really would prefer not.
Yeah.
For the sake of the league.
Or the Bills. But I don't know if the Bills want to invest.
I mean, I don't know.
The Bills
if they
are kind
have
of
the
a young
cap to
team.
invest.
So that is true.
Okay.
What's next?
Well, we kind of already mentioned Aiden Hutchinson's
yeah.
injury, but getting more specific about it, what did we all see the clip here?
Yeah.
I did see the clip.
What were our thoughts watching that?
I didn't see it live.
I did not see it live either.
But I saw on Twitter,
Yeah.
everybody was like, "Oh, like that Aiden Hutchinson injury is
X.
crazy."
It's X.
It's X, man.
Sorry.
Elon.
And I watched the video, and it just legs aren't supposed to move like that.
Especially your shin.
Yeah. So prayers up to Aiden Hutchinson. Hopefully a speedy recovery for you, but
Or not.
okay. I don't think he's coming back this season.
Dude,
No,
that
they
would,
said 6 to 8 months.
Oh yeah, he's out. For
that would be crazy.
How does that impact the Lions? I mean, they're hot.
Hugely.
And he's a huge impact
Oh, yeah.
star of that defense.
For sure.
Do you think they'll play harder now that he's gone? I mean, probably, yeah.
I mean,
that's
yeah,
a
but-
question, but like,
I mean, as far as how does it affect them, I mean, he's probably through, 5 weeks, through the 5 weeks before he got hurt. I know he led the league in sacks.
He still does.
Yeah, and I mean, when you got a guy up,
yeah.
when you got a guy up front that's Aiden Hutchinson, like T.J. Watt, Max Crosby, that's just gonna almost every single play he's gonna create pressure on the quarterback.
Yep.
like that's a game changer, especially for the backfield or the defensive backs. They don't have to guard as much. I think it's going to be a big impact for them.
agree.
So in not a good way.
He's your best defensive player. Like Evan said, leads the league in sacks, creating pressure all the time. I mean, if you eliminate the pass rush, they're going to be throwing all over you. They could be running all over you. So I think this is bad.
You give any quarterback in this league any unlimited amount of time to throw. He's going to make throws.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next week for the Lions. I'm not off the top of my head. I don't know who they're playing, but
it might be in a bye.
No, they were just on their breath.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine they play someone in the AFC South. But I can't double check. I do have my phone.
We can get to it later.
Okay. Oh yeah, when we do our picks. Well, breaking news. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Mike McDaniels has said that he has talked about Tua coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That Tua's preparing to come back. I should say.
I would say not this week, but next week.
You think it'll be 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Man,
I guess it
makes you wonder just how bad the concussion was, that he got because, you definitely don't want him to rush back into it. But he's been out for a considerable amount of time.
Yeah.
I know he's on the IR, but I think
so. That's 4 weeks at least, right?
Yeah.
And he was gone.
Probably
they put him on
2.
the IR. Week 3? Because he got hurt week 2, right?
Oh yeah.
So then they put him on the IR week 3. So that's week 7 is when he could return. Or week 8, because I don't know.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think soon he'll come back.
Probably
in time for a playoff push.
Is that a good thing for?
I think it is
for the Dolphins, or do you like what you've seen from Tyler Huntley?
Oh no! So 1,000,000% a good thing for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley is not doing anything for them.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see for sure how Tua gets back into the swing of things, if he's able to get back into the swing of things really fast, or obviously there's going to be an adjustment period, but I'm interested to see if they can get to the level they were at before he was injured. I'm also interested to see if he wears a Guardian cap.
I've always wondered,
hasn't been talked about.
Is that really effective?
I don't know, but I feel like you got to try.
Yeah.
But I really don't know.
He would definitely be the first QB to wear one, right?
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
My thing about it too is that the lowered production from Tyreek Hill, that's something that hurts him a lot.
Well, that's also definitely because of Tyler Huntley.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So I think just by getting him back, even he's going to get the ball, to Tyreek Hill a lot better than Tyler Huntley would, or any other backups in general.
I don't know, maybe when Tua comes back, it's possible he gets a little bit of the yips. Maybe he senses some pressure and he'll maybe underthrow a ball or it'll just kind of slip out of his hand.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll definitely be interesting to see what happens in Miami in the coming future.
Yeah, I agree.
So was that it? Kind of it for the news?
That was it for news, and I think we're gonna jump into
really quick. Let's recap how our picks went from last week.
Oh yeah.
We had a very, very successful week.
Yeah, I'm a little bummed now.
I went 12-2, which brings my season record to 43-33. Evan went 11-3, which brings his season total to 41-35. Chris,
come on now.
Went 14-0.
Oh wow! I should have put this bet in. Should have put $1 million on it.
Bringing him to 44-32.
That's actually crazy.
That actually is crazy.
The odds, even though a lot of the favorites did win, that's actually just crazy odds.
You know,
I was going through calculating our records, and I noticed I was just not putting a number in the loss column for Chris.
And Chris didn't even realize it.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, he was reading me off. He was reading me off the predictions. Yeah. And I got to the end and I was like, Chris, I don't know if you were counting with me, but you went 14-0.
Yeah.
So, good on you.
Yeah, I
don't know if we'll see another perfect week the rest of the season.
Well, the day we recorded the podcast, man, I just woke up and I was just like, man, I just really felt like certain teams were going to win.
No, yeah.
LeBron.
The week before, I was like, no, I think Chris is actually going to go 14-0.
Yeah, you know what? The week before that, I was like, in 2 weeks, I think Chris is going to go 14-0. I'm
picking. I'm like, well, I already got 5 in a row. Well, let's not get 6. Then I'm like, shoot, why not get all of them?
Right.
You know.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, that was my thought process.
Yeah. Yeah, he actually hit his head, and he was looking at that Bills Jets game, and he was like,
I just chose the.
he
favorite.
saw like Jets Bills on the outside, but then there was like Bills on the inside, so he just picked the middle one.
Sometimes you just gotta throw a dart and see where it lands. That's my favorite saying.
Questions?
That's actually my favorite. That actually is my favorite saying. Yeah, we could jump into some questions here.
Okay.
I have let's see. I have 3 questions here.
Okay.
And I'm pretty usually have no questions.
You do one of yours, I'll do mine, and then you do the rest.
Okay. We'll start here first. This question comes from my dad.
Shout out.
Shout out my pops.
Pops.
I won't say his name. I was about to.
He usually asks questions every week, so shout out him.
Yeah.
This kind of jumps into a bit of the fantasy world that we don't usually talk about.
Okay.
But after 6 weeks, who should have been the number 1 pick in fantasy?
Ooh.
Now, we look at usually the mock drafts. We're having McCaffrey, maybe a Breece Hall, maybe a Tyreek Hill dark horse.
Yeah.
And honestly, all 3 of those are not looking too good.
Well, in terms of like our fantasy draft that we did, it was a super flex league. So if we're talking in that sense, I mean, quarterback, it would have been
Baker.
Probably Lamar
or Baker. I think Lamar's definitely number 1.
Can you check who's the number one? Who's the
I'll
number
take
one
a
quarterback in
gander.
Sleeper right now?
I think it's Lamar.
If we're talking strictly on like wide
normal.
receivers, I would say Nico Collins. He's up there. I mean he's looking like one of the best. I mean Justin Jefferson's never like a bad pick, but I would say like as far as top wide receivers, Nico Collins would have been a great pick.
Actually, so Lamar and Baker are almost tied. They both have 157, but Lamar is 157.5, and Baker is 157.2.
Okay, so yeah, Lamar or Baker. I mean, if for quarterbacks, because I think the first 2 in our league were Josh Allen and then Patrick Mahomes.
Now I wish you did take Mahomes, so I could have taken Josh Allen. Mahomes, you're selling me in the sleeper league.
But back to the question. I mean, I just looked now, but my answer probably would stay the same. Number 1 pick in a normal league, not super flex. I probably would have gone with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
And I looked, and he is second in running backs. Number 1 is.
And whose team is he on?
Whose team is he on?
Does it say?
It's your team, man.
It's my team.
Hey, but you know what? I know what's funny? The number 1 running back is Alvin Kamara. Who is on my team.
Hey, that'll fade soon.
It's only up 1 point.
That was that one game.
Yeah, it was the 4 touchdown
maybe
game.
like even like a David Montgomery.
Yeah,
it's not bad. I mean,
a bad pick.
Let's see where he's at rankings.
This happens every year.
Oh yeah,
the guys that are taken in the top like 3 or 4 are always like
it's so hard.
Think about a guy like Jaden Reed too,
Yeah.
who's like a top producer in terms of wide receivers in fantasy. And, like, he's, like, a guy who's getting picked, like, 8th round, like, he's easily, with the stats he's put up this year, like, I would say in a regular league, like a 3rd or 4th round guy.
I think
maybe even earlier.
Nico Collins would have been a good pick. But I don't know about number 1. See, it's hard to say number 1.
No, I already said that.
You did?
Yeah. I said that first.
Yeah, a little update. How are you feeling with the hot sauce?
Yeah,
I feel like it's kind of been gone.
Did
now.
It just went away.
How was it? Was it more than what you thought it was going to be, or less?
Not really. I mean, it was bad. As soon as I swallowed, that's where the problem started happening.
Would you say it was hotter than blazing?
No, not even close.
Really?
And maybe it's just the amount I had.
Yeah. Oh yeah, not even close.
I don't even remember the blazing. I'm not gonna lie. That
you probably
it was just constant. Yeah, shout out Mitch. We're gonna do the blazing.
No.
No, but I think also with it being a limited amount and only being on my tongue that it wasn't that bad, except for when I swallowed. But I did have a lot of the milk, so I feel like that was kind of a cheat. But yeah, I mean, it is gone. I'm not going to do any more, even though I could. Yeah. I'm not going to.
Evan, you said you had a question?
Yeah, this one comes from my dad as well.
Shout out Evan's dad.
Shout out my dad.
Shout out.
I thought this was actually a pretty good question, and it'd be interesting to hear. I feel like more what you guys will say about this, but and it's a question for all of us. If if I could pick one person from the Bears team to put on the Packers, to help not like just necessarily who's the best player, but to help maybe fill a role that they need, like who would I pick? And then vice versa for you guys. If you guys could pick one player from the Packers for the Bears to put onto the Bears team, who would you pick?
I think I know what his answer should be. But honestly, I think someone that'd be really good to have is Xavier McKinney.
Yes.
I was going to say, yeah, we got Kevin Byard up there, but, just having a young safety.
A guy you could have gotten free agency.
I know. And he's just a ball hawk. He's been getting interceptions and turnovers. He kind of reminds me of a young Kevin Byard, honestly, with this season he had, I think a couple of seasons ago, he had a lot of interceptions. But, yeah, someone who, like I said, is a ball hawk and just can be a nice anchor in the secondary, I think would be good.
I would pick, just to make like the best secondary in the league, I would probably just pick Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
Like having Jalen Johnson on one side and Jair on the other side.
Oh yeah.
That's lockdown city.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I would like that. That was my second option.
Yeah. I think I could kind of go that route too because I haven't like frustrated with a couple. It would be nice to have a little bit more depth, especially when Jair's out.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if we could get like Jalen Johnson, like just to add more depth to that room. I would say anything else. Do you guys have good linebackers?
Oh yeah. Tremaine Edmonds.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So
oh yeah.
Tremaine Edmonds, I would take him because I'm kind of fed up with Quay Walker.
Yeah.
I like our new guy Adrian Cooper. I think he's gonna start getting more snaps. So I would say another guy to kind of complete that room too.
Brian Urlacher 2.0, Jack Sanborn.
Hey, I got an answer for him though.
What?
Would you take Cairo Santos, the kicker?
Yeah, that's actually a sneaky pick.
That's
a sneaky pick.
I don't want Tory Taylor.
Whelan.
They got Whelan. We got Whelan.
Tory Taylor better.
No, he's
Taylor,
not.
Yeah,
no, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Top 10 in the league, but he's number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's punted so much, man. He's got.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of tries.
Right.
Yeah, but I think defensive help for both teams.
Oh yeah,
because they're both pretty good defense.
Yeah, and they also both have pretty good offenses too.
I take Jay Reed.
They've been steamrolling.
I take Jay Reed. Really, not Jay Reed? A good slot guy.
You wouldn't take him,
we got Keenan in the slot.
Yeah, you're right.
Keenan is going to leave the team next year.
I thought you were just talking about like the season.
We are, but
for the future. Obviously for the future, Jaden Reed instead of
like right now, like you wouldn't say like, oh, you guys need another wide receiver, but like
I feel like offenses, it's kind of hard because they're both doing pretty solid right now, and they're both got a strong connection. Like I wouldn't take Josh Jacobs.
Right.
Josh Jacobs may be better than Swift, but I just feel like
Swift's been clicking recently. Yeah. Maybe like. I can't name everybody on your offensive line, but I'm sure one of them is better than.
Oh yeah,
that is true.
That's what I thought. That's kind of where I thought you guys might go with it.
Right.
I don't really know if I knew a name.
Alton Jenkins,
him and
Josh
Zach
Myers?
Tom. That's all I know.
Josh Myers. Well, you don't really want him.
Okay, never mind.
Zach Tom.
He's pretty good. He's a
Two
tackle.
First names.
Yeah.
Rasheed Walker on the outside.
Who's the center?
Center's Josh Myers.
Okay, and if we don't want him, then our center's also kind of.
I'd probably take Josh Myers.
It goes Rasheed Walker, Elton Jenkins, Josh Myers, Jordan Morgan, our rookie, and then Zach Tom.
Yeah.
And I bet you probably under 5 sacks this year on Jordan Love. 5 or 6 under.
Yeah. I don't think he got sacked.
Nope, he didn't get sacked last game. So, yeah.
That's probably, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's probably a good choice.
That'd be nice for Caleb.
Yeah.
I don't know, but our offensive line has been improving.
Yeah, I would like just a solid.
I wonder if they listened to our podcast when we were kind of.
They heard you say you were going to step in center, and
they were like, "Oh, we can't have him."
There were multiple times, like in that game, in the Packers game, where Jordan Love just sitting there in the pocket, just like. And granted, the Arizona defense isn't that good.
No, that is true.
So you can't really. I'm not going to put too much on that, but they always usually have a good offensive line. They're good at drafting and keeping that going, that flowing. So next question.
Yeah, this one also comes from my dad.
Shout out, Dad.
NFC North cooking this year.
Yep.
I believe they have the top 4 teams in point differential
Probably.
is all in the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it's possible? I mean, it's obviously possible, but do you think with the rest of the season panning out how it would pan out, do you think all 4 NFC North teams could?
We
get
were
into the
talking
playoffs?
about
I know
this
we
in
were
the car
talking
ride
about
back
this.
from Green Bay.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
I think,
Yeah.
and this is kind of a point we brought up, as soon as the division games hit,
Yeah.
I think it'll kind of separate the winners from the losers.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? But yeah, that's
I mean,
what I think.
I agree. I think the Vikings at some point will,
Crumble.
crumble a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, once they start playing each other, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just it just seems really improbable. I do think 2 teams for sure. Two teams for sure.
I agree.
I would
Bears,
say even
Packers.
3 is kind of improbable. I think once
Yeah.
everybody starts playing each other, I just don't.
I'm
just
thinking
depends.
Lions Bears.
That's what I was going to say, honestly. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe the Packers.
Lions Bears Vikings, I think.
Yes, I really do like the Vikings. I see them.
Well,
they're undefeated.
The
still,
Bears
so-
aren't. Well, when the Packers beat the Bears twice again this season, it's not really going to be.
Right.
So we'll just have 4 losses then.
Right.
Okay.
And we'll have 2 losses.
I mean, I can work. I
sure.
can work with 4 losses.
Shout out Packers. Shout out the Bears Packers game.
Yeah.
When they're at Soldier Field, I will be there.
That'll be a good game.
And I'm also going to the game where they're playing the Patriots.
Ooh,
little-
watch Drake May.
Little Caleb Williams, Drake May action.
Rookie on rookie.
Nice.
That's how you usually got to pay double for that kind of
Yeah.
action.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't know about that.
All right, third question here. Last question I
Okay.
have here from Bailey. Shout out Bailey.
Shout out.
Are the Bears legit? Or are we looking at just like an easy schedule type of thing?
We were also talking about.
We were also
this.
talking about this on the way
I'll
back.
I'll let Evan go first.
I mean, my thing is that
You know where he's going.
no. I mean, yes, you can say that they're legit and they are getting better. I will give them that. But on the other hand of it, I would say if you look at who they've played and also who they've lost to, I don't think that they've proved it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I like that answer.
And I'm not
actually.
putting it out of the question. But I don't think with this current schedule, and they do have some tough teams coming up, and that's when they'll really be able to prove it. But I don't think the one thing that I said to Chris and Mitch on the way back was, Mitch was all like, "Oh, 4-2, 4-2 feels real good," and like really
does?
hyping that up.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because
Best start we've had in a while.
yeah.
I agree.
But
Well, facts actually.
the way I think that Packers fans, or at least I look at the Packers season, is I'm just like, whatever, we're 4-2. There's 2 teams that we could have beaten if we had a competent kicker.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I look at it. And so I think it is easy, and I don't blame you guys. It's easy to get ahead of yourselves with, Bears letting you down however many years. But I'm not going to put it out of the question that they're legit, but I would say not yet. Let's see how these next, 2 or 3 games go.
Yeah. That's a lot better of an answer than I thought.
Yeah.
And that's probably exactly how I feel. I mean, we have had an easier schedule, but as everyone says, they're still NFL teams. But yeah, I think they're gonna need to prove it. We've seen the Bears start off really strong. Like I remember it was either 2011 or 2012. We were like 6-1, 7-1. That's when we had, Urlacher, Briggs. But then the offense just went stale. We ended up missing the playoffs. So I mean, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Hopefully the offense can just stay increasing, But I think once again the defense is really gonna prove
They're always
whether or
good.
not we make a championship. out of
Malafleur said in his interview today that the Bears defense is one of the best in the NFL. So,
I like that.
We got that good deal.
We like that good.
but so is the Packers.
I mean, I agree,
Yeah.
100%. Like, we're beating the teams we're supposed to beat,
That's
which
true.
is good.
Yeah.
We should have beaten the Colts.
Yeah.
That Texans game was just. It was not a good game.
Yeah, and
For them.
we kept it close.
Yeah.
But you're not expected to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I will say is that, they always say that you can't win, you can't make the playoffs or be good in this league if you don't beat the bad teams.
Yeah.
So, and it's not necessarily the
That's
Bears.
my favorite. I like that.
You
keep
can't you can't get on the Bears too much for being hopeful or whatever, because they didn't pick their schedule or whatever. But I would say just give it some time.
like
Don't
that.
get ahead of yourself.
Yeah,
Don't get too disappointed too quick.
I know.
I mean, I am excited for the futures. We're coming off the bye, playing the Commanders.
That game should get flexed.
I think that's going to be a really good game.
That should be Sunday night.
Then we take on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And then we take on the Patriots. Then we take on the Packers, I think. And then division. Yeah. It's crazy that we don't have a division game.
I know.
Week 8? Week 9?
I don't really
We've only
like
played
it.
one division game.
Yeah.
I really don't like it, but at the same time, it could be interesting just for like a competitive aspect.
Right.
Like every game
matters.
matters.
Looking forward to division play. So
yeah. Oh man, I feel like we could go 3-1 in the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Not including the bye, but
I think
I feel like I was going to say the loss.
I don't know. 4-0. 4-0's in play. I think it's possible. I mean, probably not, honestly, but like splitting the series against the Packers is probably possible.
That would be huge.
We would just, and the game we would win is probably our home game.
Yeah. I don't know. Lambeau's going to be a different monster for Caleb.
I mean, people are like, oh, the Lions, blah blah blah. I mean, we split the series against the Lions last year.
I don't know.
We almost beat them both times.
It's just different with the Packers and Bears. I mean, maybe not like last year, but I feel like in the past years before that. There's just something about that game that makes both teams play even better, or just to each other's levels. That always makes it a good game.
Yeah, I hope for a competitive game.
Yeah,
that's what after last season. I just hope it's close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't.
And the Bears win, but obviously we don't wish it's.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you know what I mean, but
we'll see.
We'll see.
I think it'll be a good game. I think they'll both be good games.
Maybe Xavier McKinney will manipulate Caleb Williams a little bit, get a pick.
Nah, Caleb Williams is smarter than that.
Yeah, he can't be manipulated.
Facts.
Except by Notre Dame.
All right. Should we? We already kind of talked about our Bears-Packers thoughts. Should we jump into them a little bit more, or
we can kind of comment on it? They both won again.
Yeah. They both won again. I
like this theme.
Yeah, I mean that's good for both of us.
Yeah.
I can just say a little bit about the Packers. I'm not going to say too much. I will say that I think that this was their most complete game so far. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the best game that Jordan Love has played so far, and I think he's finding his groove again. He threw one pick, but it really wasn't his fault. He
got tipped, right?
No, Bo Melton went on an out route.
Yeah, you're right. And he fell.
And he fell down. And then, I think if he doesn't throw the pick, and I think the game could be a lot bigger of a margin, even though it was pretty big still. But yeah, I think the defense forced 3 fumbles, and they recovered all of them. So it was just good all around. Penalties were a lot better. Kicker missed a kick, which when I was listening to LaFleur,
that's gonna come down to bite.
I saw this kicker in warmups, man.
Not good. Man. But and some brighter news on that, I was watching the LaFleur interview today, that he had today, and he was saying someone asked him a question about switching kickers and if he's concerned, and he was like, yeah, definitely something that we need to think about, blah blah blah. And they have a guy, Alex Hale. He's a rookie from, I think, Oklahoma State.
Okay.
He's on the practice squad right now. So they asked him about maybe bringing up him, and he said, yeah, it's looking to everything, so.
Might as well try.
It seems like they're kind of a little bit frustrated with it too, and they maybe will make a switch soon. So they just said that it's more of a day-by-day thing,
Yeah.
So. Anything about? I know you didn't really get to you listened to it, but
yeah, about the Bears, it's just kind of I like it because it's kind of just the same old thing. Offensive line, pretty solid.
Yeah.
Play calling, awesome. I know you watched. I listened to it kind of, so I kind of will let you take over. But just another great game for Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little nervous. I saw the interception. That's on him.
Yeah.
But then he just comes back and throws 4 touchdowns. So I think he definitely made up for it. But, I know he wants the interception back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I got. Good job.
You brought up the play calling, and that's something I do want to touch on. I know we
Mm-hmm.
brought this up last week, but I do really think that meeting that the players had with Shane Waldron actually got to him.
It's a
and
completely
he's kind of
different play caller.
And he's kind of okay, these guys really want to want me to change. I'll change, and he did.
Yeah,
because the play calling against the Panthers was immaculate.
Right.
Play call. This honestly, there were a couple plays this game where I was like, wow. Ooh. Yeah, like that play. And this play's been run a couple times, and for some reason it always ends in a touchdown. The Packers ran it, I think, last year?
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks or Niners ran it, I think, last week, I think.
Yeah.
And the Bears just ran it. It's Caleb Williams just back, fakes to the screen to the left, fakes to the screen to the right.
Double pump.
And it hits the tight end in the middle of the field.
I love
For some reason, always ends in a touchdown.
I need to show you the play from last year after this is done, but
so yeah, Cole Kmet 2 touchdowns.
I love seeing him more involved.
Exactly. Keenan Allen 2 touchdowns. The defense, and like you said with the Packers getting a couple turnovers, the Bears got a lot of turnovers. I think they had 2 forced fumbles.
Yeah.
They had a pick.
It's gonna be hyped.
I mean, what more could you want for a game where they had? I mean, I know they were there. They got there on Tuesday?
Yeah.
I think the Jaguars got there on Friday or Saturday.
Did they have plane issues or did they just show up late?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
not sure.
But regardless.
But I know they have another game there next week, so they're staying over.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say that had anything to do with it.
Early
the Jaguars are pretty used to playing in London anyway, so I think it's time to have a discourse about Trevor Lawrence, though.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play great, and he's kind of had a rough go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of coaches, a lot of offensive schemes, but it's weird seeing such a high generational prospect just not find success
I don't know,
that.
Maybe they'll get in the future he'll get the Darnold or the Mayfield treatment, and
I was gonna say
he'll get to a different team and shine.
I think,
but as of
right now, because he just signed a big contract, so they have to trade him to someone who would want him. I don't really know.
True.
Let's just do a swap with Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would do that.
I don't know if either team would benefit from that or would do that.
No, I think the Giants would.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sure Lawrence would love to throw to Malik Neighbors.
Yeah. And Darius Slayton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wandale.
Going back in the Packers and Bears defense, 1 and 2 in the league for takeaways.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers have 17, the Bears have 14. And then Chris said 4 touchdown passes for Caleb Williams. Jordan Love had 4 too.
Yeah, they had pretty similar stats.
It was the first time ever.
They both had through a pick.
Yeah.
Right?
Jordan Love had more yards.
Yeah. It was the first time.
Not by much, though, I don't
that any quarterback since I think Brett Favre has thrown for 4 touchdown passes in consecutive home games.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
But the Packers had 18 takeaways last year on defense, and they have 17 already now.
That's actually kind of crazy.
I would like to throw this out there. Caleb Williams was the first rookie QB for the Bears since 1998 to throw 4 touchdowns in a game.
That's
crazy.
Well,
I want to throw...
Because we've had a lot of rookies.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Jordan Love was the...
Nothing. He didn't play his rookie year.
Well, the Packers were the youngest team to make the playoffs ever last year.
Okay.
So...
Do you want a medal?
Oh, because they won the... They lost in the second round again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, our wide receiver rooms only altogether 2 or 3 million. So
okay.
Dobbs wanted to leave. Watson's hurt again.
He doesn't want to leave. He's not even hurt.
Yeah,
he's playing.
Oh yeah, Watson did play. I was literally at the game, man. What am I talking about?
All right, let's get out.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to our Capper Glazer hater.
Woo! Ooh. Oh, we're stuck together. Want some white point.
We'll run through our last week's picks really quick. Evan, do you remember yours? No.
I do have mine written down.
Did you write yours down in the main thing?
No, I didn't.
If no one remembers, I can just talk.
Oh, Brandon Ayuk was my Glazer.
Yeah.
My hater was Romeo Dobbs, and my Glazer was Tucker Kraft.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't really have much to say about it. I
Right.
mean, Romeo Dobbs showed out this week,
Mhm.
2 touchdowns. He showed up when when we needed him to, when it made plays. Tucker Kraft had more of a silent week, but he's always doing the dirty work for us. And Brandon Ayuk, he was my what? What did I say he was?
You said Glazer, but I think you meant Capper.
Yeah.
But
Because you were glazing Tucker Kraft.
He went crazy last week, though.
Yeah, and he did nothing this week.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? I don't even know, but
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter because Brandon
Yeah,
Ayuk
who
played
cares?
horrible.
Right. Chris, what was yours?
My capper was Josh Allen, which game just finished a little bit ago. I think he had 3 total touchdowns, and he definitely did enough to help the Bills win that game. I know there was kicking issues.
he had a big scramble for a first down to basically seal the game.
Yep. He definitely redeemed himself, and I know the Bills loved getting a win in not only against a division opponent, but just get back on the win, back in the win column in general. So, my Glazer was Darnell Mooney. He had those 2 touchdowns and 100 yards, so I thought, why not put him in my fantasy lineup? And
He did all right.
he did all right. I think he got a solid 8 or 9 points. He had over 50 yards, but not. He'll be back.
Mhm.
He'll be back. And then hater, I put Derek Carr. I feel bad because he is injured and he didn't play this week, but shout out Spencer Rattler.
Yeah.
He basically put up Derek Carr's stats. So
Also, shout out Drake May for showing out in his first performance too.
Oh, and I did hear too. I was watching the Oklahoma-Texas game, and Quinn Ewers was hurt with a rib injury.
Mm-hmm.
They said Derek Carr's injury is very similar to that. So they said the Saints reached out to Texas to see how they treated Quinn Ewers for Derek Carr. So I find that was pretty cool.
My capper was Marvin Harrison, and he also got injured. I believe he left the game with concussion protocol.
Yes.
Hopefully you return healthy. My Glazer was DJ Moore. He did not do much. This game probably went back to being used as a decoy in Shane Waldron's offense, but at least his decoy worked.
Yeah,
led to 4 touchdowns. So
I was gonna say,
DJ, if that's gonna happen every week, keep being a decoy. But I don't want you to be angry. So you do you.
Yeah.
My hater was Deebo Samuel. He had a pretty good game.
he had a great game.
Yeah. Three catches. I just checked. 3 catches, 102 yards, 1 touchdown. And he ran the ball a little bit, but not well. So shout out him, and they got a win. So
They did
back
get a
in the
win.
win column for the Niners.
Yeah.
A team that was supposed to be the favorite in the NFC. Let's see if they can get back on track.
Yep.
All right. Let's see. We'll start with Capper. This guy. This guy's got a lot.
I think Chris and I have the same.
Oh.
That's all right.
All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Nope.
No.
Ayuk again.
Dak Prescott.
You spelled that wrong.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
How's it spelled?
Not like that.
Yeah, it is. I
no,
promise
it's
you.
not.
I think he's right.
It's not, bro.
I think he's. Hey, wait. If you're wrong, you gotta do the hot sauce.
No, I already did it.
All right. Well, I'll start.
It's AI. It's AI.
Oh,
Y.
A-I.
It's AIYUK.
Classic vowel mishap.
Whatever, man.
All right, whatever.
All right.
All right. Who did you put down?
I put down DK Metcalf.
Okay.
I looked and I know Seattle was playing the 49ers, so pretty good team. And I think they kind of shared the sugar.
He had a touchdown taken away from a penalty.
Yes.
I know that.
And he's like the king of getting touchdowns taken away,
Yeah.
I feel like. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Lockett had a touchdown, and I know Geno, he had a pretty decent game. I know he made some mistakes, but, he was kind of sharing the ball around. I know JSN.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yes. He had a pretty good game. And then, like I said, Tyler Lockett had some good catches. But, DK didn't get targeted as much. I think he had like 5 or 3 catches. But, not kind of – just didn't have a huge game. That's why I think he'll bounce back next day, maybe actually get a touchdown and I think put up more than 50
He was
yards.
dropping some balls for sure.
All right, another Ayuk pick from Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it speaks for itself. I
Yeah,
mean, he just
I
didn't.
hope.
They got the win, but he just hasn't been living up to what he's been asking for.
What he was
especially.
holding out for.
Yeah, I mean,
my bad. I started him in fantasy, so.
I know. I know that they've dealt with some injuries, and they have been struggling a little bit, but I don't know. And they do have a lot of weapons, so they got to spread it around a lot. But I don't know. For a guy that's hyped up so much and he hypes himself up, I'm not liking him this year.
Speaking of guys that have been hyping themselves up and getting big money in the offseason, Dak Prescott. He was my capper. I don't know what it is with him, but he's got to fix something, man.
It's the whole culture over there, I think.
Yeah, they're kind of 3-3.
CD's kind of yelling at him.
Yeah.
And I saw a TikTok about this, but is it time Mike McCarthy gets on the hot seat?
Oh yeah. I feel like
I saw the TikTok.
He was like, but not.
He was like, Mike McCarthy's been riding that one Super Bowl win with Rodgers for his whole career.
That's true. I don't know if Jerry Jones likes Mike, but
must.
I don't know. They've been talking about this for so long, and I feel like it's so overdue. And like you said with the culture thing, I think it's just so stale, and they just need something to pump this team up.
It's kind of like how the Bulls every year they're like, oh, we're running it back with the same team. Dallas does the same thing, but
Bulls.
It just doesn't help.
Do you see the Bulls said they're not tanking? They want to contend. They think they're contending.
Good for them.
No.
We were contenders last time we had Lonzo.
Hey, Zach LaVine's good this year. He's back in prime form. Did you see that preseason game?
Good for Zach.
Yeah, they should
get trade.
Some teams should take advantage of that. He's good again.
As you got the jersey, huh?
Yeah.
Please take him.
All right. Glazer. Who we glazing? Me and Chris might have similar ones. Evan.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Evan might go.
I'm sure you saw your Glazer in person.
I did.
Yep. I saw mine on the TV, or as the Brits would say, the telly.
The telly.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, all these are valid.
Yeah. Caleb Williams. I mean, what more can I say that hasn't been said already?
Yep.
Great game. I wouldn't say his best game so far, because I think that was against the Panthers. But I mean, 4 touchdowns is nothing to scoff at. He's getting better every week. We made the right pick. For sure.
I know. I mean, Jane Daniels wouldn't have been a bad pick, but I like this pick. I feel like.
I don't know, but you see, they wanted to change. Jane Daniels I wouldn't say plays the exact same as Justin Fields, but they didn't want to do
I agree. They wanted
a whole nother thing like that. They wanted somebody who
sit in the pocket, deliver the ball. Yeah, I wrote down Cole Kmet.
Really quickly, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No.
There's a clip on Twitter of one of Caleb Williams. It's like the back camera view of looking at his eyes, and you could see him just the whole clip go.
Oh, he's reading.
And then make the throw.
And swivel.
And if you saw the same thing with Justin, this is what you would see. Hype.
Oh yeah. Or keeping.
Do one of these, and then run.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that he's actually reading and progressing through the defense.
I like that.
Sorry to cut you off there, but
no, it's okay. I think that was a great point. I wrote down Cole Kmet. I mean, come on, he's finally getting involved. I love to see it. He does a lot of the dirty work. He picks up a lot of blocks. Sometimes not always the best, but he's definitely willing to put his body on the line and not need to be the star. So it was nice to see him get rewarded with 2 touchdowns. I love that they were getting him involved. I think he deserves it, and I hope he keeps going.
I would like to say I love Cole Kmet.
I do too.
I've been high on him ever since he was drafted. I think his rookie year in fantasy, I took him in the 6th round of fantasy, which it's a reach because he didn't do good that year. But and I always get clowned for it. But I love Cole Kmet so much. I'm glad to see that he's finally prospering in this offense. And I just love the tight end position so much. I think that it could really help out a team.
And I do think it's one of the more demanding positions to play because you have to block and catch the ball and work as a decoy and all these different things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I agree with that.
I mean, I had Jordan Love. Like I said before, I think he played probably his best game this season, most complete game in terms of throwing. I saw a lot of videos on Twitter too today. I mean, there was just multiple different passes over the weekend that he threw, and there's only a select or a few amount of quarterbacks in the league that are making the passes that he's making, and I mean, I solely believe that he led them. He's a big reason why they've been having some success recently. And I would say that Jordan Love is like the perfect in between of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Like he is definitely a lot more aggressive, and sometimes it causes him to throw interceptions or kind of make throws that he shouldn't. But you almost kind of like that. You like your quarterback going out being aggressive, but he also makes those perfect throws that you see from Rodgers. So when he finds his groove and when he's on, he's I would say top 5, if not one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. To comment on that too, since I was there, I think, like you said, he kind of just lets it fly, and I'll give credit to the Packers wide receivers.
Oh yeah,
because they just come down.
They're all dogs.
Like that one throw to Dobbs where he just threw it up, and it was a bad play by the defender.
It was a full-out blitz on a 3rd down play.
It was probably at the 40, at the Cardinals 40.
Jordan Love basically just right as he snaps the ball, just backing up off the back foot, throws a back shoulder. I mean, I know Romeo Dobbs had to go get it, but it was a perfect throw for where he threw it. So he threw it back shoulder, and Romeo Dobbs went and got it.
It's just a good example again of just the wide receiver just going up. I mean, he didn't really have to go up, but he's just there. Just getting the pass,
just tracking the ball down.
Yeah,
tracking it in the air. So yeah. Oh, my hater.
Who are we hating on?
Hater. I have mine written down. We all have it written down. Oh no, he's thinking of it.
Oh my gosh, man!
My guy.
This is why we need to be prepared.
Oh,
my iPad was dead.
iPad. So that's a pretty big deal.
I think I got
it. Writing it down.
All right.
The hot sauce, I feel like it's giving me a bit of a headache, but it's gone.
Okay.
And 3, 2, 1.
This is who I picked.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were doing okay.
I
thought you were writing on Kittle. So I was confused because I was like, he had a really good
did have a really good week.
All right, I wrote down Deshaun Watson. Chris wrote down George Pickens. Evan wrote down Dak. Evan, we'll start with you. Dak, I mean, I touched on Dak a bit, Mike.
So I'm not going to say much about it, but like I said before, I just don't like the culture over there. He got his big contract that he wanted, and I don't know. I just don't like how Dallas looks, and I don't think CeeDee Lamb helps either, because every time you see him on the sideline, he's got a bad attitude about everything. Yep. I mean, you just got paid a huge contract, what you wanted, and you have a bad attitude all the time towards the team. You're swearing at your quarterback, which is not good for Dak. I just don't really like the Cowboys this season.
Speaking of attitude, that's why I wrote down George Pickens. Now,
NFL young boy,
and I know that's kind of his persona. Is he's got the attitude, he's got the get up in your face. But I mean, speaking of the Cowboys game, at the end of the game, remember you grabbed that guy's face mask, kind of threw him down. He's kind of just becoming a problem. He's not producing like a wide receiver one. I don't think he had 50. I think he had like 30 yards this week. I don't think he's the number one wide receiver option, and I don't think what he's doing from like even leadership wise is going to be good for the Steelers in the long run. Because I know Justin Fields can be a good leader at times, but you need someone else to kind of step up. And usually you look your position players, but I think the Steelers definitely need to get a little more help, and maybe that'll help George Pickens' production. But right now it's just, I don't like his attitude. I don't think it's helping the team, and I think he needs to step it up a little bit.
Agree. I have him on my fantasy team, so I'd love to see him step it up. Sticking in the AFC North, we'll head east to Cleveland. West to Cleveland from Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I mean, that team is a hot mess. Deshaun Watson, terrible.
For multiple reasons.
Yeah. Multiple reasons on and off the field. We won't get into it.
We're not going to talk about it.
But, I mean, you spend all this money, you spend all this capital to get him from Houston, in the midst of the scandals that he was getting.
Good trade for Houston, by the way.
Yeah.
Great trade.
Yeah, really. Honestly, I think Houston won that trade 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
In the midst of the scandal he was going through, to be like, oh yeah,
and that was no baby scandal.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be like,
that was huge.
Oh, he's in court right now for whatever with those women. but he's really good at football. So let's trade Houston
And
millions of
guarantee him
picks and guarantee him millions of dollars
his whole
to
contract.
play football for us, and then he comes back and he's just terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah.
He might. He
And
might
allegedly-
get on the bench.
Allegedly has a burner account on Twitter. I can neither confirm or deny it, but if he does, it's funny because every time that account, after every game, he's tweeting like, "Hey Cleveland, 4 got you." Like, it's so burner accounts are so funny. I think KD had a couple burner accounts. Getting exposed for burner accounts is even funnier.
That's even
than,
funnier.
Yeah, it's even funnier than
But
just
I mean,
having one. But
I think I'd have a burner.
you gotta have
If
a
I was a
burner. You
professional,
gotta have
just
a
to
burner.
be funny, someone's gotta have my back.
Somebody's talking bad about you. You can be like, "You go out there and try." But yeah, so that's our camper Glazer hater this week.
Yep.
We'll jump into our parlay pick and then our picks for week 7.
Yep.
Yeah.
Week 7.
Right?
Yes, it is week 7.
I keep getting mixed up with the whole whatever.
Just
So this is our
podcast.
6th episode already.
6th episode, week 7.
Alright. We'll run through our parlay picks
Okay.
really quickly. I picked, I know Evan picked Kyron Williams last week, but he was on a bye. This week I'm picking Kyron Williams.
Not on a bye.
Not on a bye. They're playing the Raiders, who
I don't
I don't
know.
know. I think that
That
Kyron
kinda
Williams I think
describes-
has had a touchdown in every game he's played in this season. So
It's a safe pick for sure.
I think that's like a safe pick.
Yeah. I chose Joe Mixon. He's just coming back from injury. Had a touchdown last weekend and a pretty good game. They're playing the Packers. And I know the Packers, it's going to be a whiteout, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Which will be, they'll have a good amount of energy. But the Packers are a team that just have been getting ran all over, especially, I know, running back screens. I know you've said has been a bit
They
of a
did
problem.
better. They forced the fumble on one.
They did
last
do a
game.
good job. So I think the Texans will get down the red zone. I think they'll hand the ball off. And I think Joe Mixon finds the end zone, either receiving or passing, or rushing or receiving.
Yeah, I had Justin Jefferson. They're coming off their bye week. And really, he's the number one guy over there.
Yeah.
Probably the best wide receiver in the league. And I think that's really who, when Sam Darnold's dropping back, he's mainly looking for Justin Jefferson. I mean, I know he was on a streak for a little bit for touchdowns scored that maybe got cut off when they play the Jets. But, I mean, coming off the bye, I think he's going to be a key piece in their game plan, and they're going to give him the ball.
I still can't believe the Eagles
like
took
that
Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson in that draft.
Crazy.
I really would like to know the mindset behind that.
The Vikings guys were like cheering.
Yeah.
They were calling the Eagles guys
They
dumb,
were
I think,
probably
when.
shocked. Well, I would have called them that too.
TCU legend Jalen Rager, by the way. Hey guys, first of all, thank you guys for watching the pod this week. Sorry about the quick, short ending, but we had some technical difficulties. The only part that got cut out was our picks for next week. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.